Hey everybody, coming at you from my gear room. Now, I have been very extremely busy. All kinds of stuff going on. Vehicles tearing up, house repairs, overtime, shopping. It'd take me 30 minutes to explain everything I'm doing. So, my other projects I haven't worked on, I haven't got them ready to film. So, I thought this would be a good time to show this neat little trick that I don't know if anybody's seen or not. It's actually it's a modification on a trick. It's a survival match trick. Now, somebody, a commenter, was telling me about how they wrap duct tape around a match, okay, to extend the flame time. I was telling my brother about it, and my brother explained to me a method that he used to do, which is even more helpful than just the duct tape part, but it's a variation on it. But I'm going to show you how it's done. We're going to make a few, and then tomorrow we're going to run out in the woods and we're going to see how they work. All right, sound good? So let's make a few survival matches. Here's just your typical matches. You can get regular matches, or you can get the waterproof matches, just whatever wooden matches. Now, if you take a match, all right, you strike it and you light it, it lasts about 15 seconds. Never more than 20 seconds. Now, the old trick is to take duct tape and wrap it around it like this. Alright, that way, see, you got something to hold on to, and you can hold, not only can you hold on to it, but this duct tape itself burns a little bit longer and increases the time. So, all right. Now, the variation on that, let's take a look at this. You rip off about that amount of duct tape. See the length of it? All right, let's lay it down flat. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the match and you're going to lay it right there on the end. And then you're going to roll it. Well, not necessarily roll it up. You're going to make it flat like this. See how I got that first flat? And see, this is going to be a whole bunch of duct tape. And the more duct tape, the thing you got to, when you first have a flame, that is called the initial flame. And then after you have your initial flame, then you have what's called flame working time. And what that is that's the amount of time that you have for your fire materials and your tinder and all that to catch fire. And so what this does is this extends the flame working time. Alright, so now we have this right here. It's about 4 or 5 inches long. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to tear off a piece of tape about half that length. I would say about right here. Alright, then you want to tear it into 3 pieces. I guess pretty even. Alright, you're going to set that down, and then this will be a little bit more narrow, I think. Yeah, about a little bit more narrow. Let's set that down. Alright, so what you want to do now with this, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to mess it up. But what you do is, you do that. So now what you've got is a double wall thickness piece of tape. Alright, so you take this double wall thickness tape, and right in the middle you want to put this tape. Okay, you want to take it somewhere about right in the middle. Alright, and then you're going to fold it over and overlap a little bit so that that's what it looks like right there. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to move this over. Well, yeah, I'm going to put it like that. Alright, so you've got tape now that's sticky on each side and completely wrapped in the middle. Now what you're going to do is you're going to lay this just like that, and then you're going to fold this over like this. So see, not only have whatever layers you have here, you have like multiple layers here, then you have even more layers here, And then this is going to be your loop that you're going to come around like this and stick that to that. And then you're going to fold it over. And so basically what you have created is you now have a massive glob of tape right up here. Alright, and see, that's what it's going to look like right there. Alright, you can have a long piece of tape with a loop on the end of it that you can, what you're going to do is you're going to be able to hang that from a stick instead of holding it. And when the flame starts burning, when the flame comes up, there's so much tape up here. If you didn't have enough tape, it would melt the top part and the whole thing would fall off. But as these flames are coming up, because flames and heat rises, and as it rises, alright, you don't have to hold it. And you'll do this teepee style. Alright, so I'm going to make a couple of these, and we're going to stick them in a container. I have 6 of these, with a little loop on the ends. Like I was saying, for now what we're going to do is we're just going to stick them in this container. I guess you could get like a toothbrush container or something. Or maybe I don't know, some kind of a long skinny container. But I just want to see if the idea is feasible for now. So I'm just going to stack these in here like this. And then later on, you know, if this idea works, you can do something like, I'll put that in there so that I'll have a striking surface. And see, like later on, you know, if this idea works out, you could take something like maybe a waterproof container or a pill case or something and put them in there and tape some sandpaper to the outside so you could strike on that surface. So let's take these out and see if the idea works. Now, a normal match, we have concluded that it lasts about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. If you use like dry pine straw or dry leaves, a match, no problem. So we're not really going to mess with that. Or cattail fluff, or any kind of dried grass, any kind of light, dry, fluffy tinder. But what we're wanting to do is, since we're calling this a survival match, it should last, I'm hoping, 60 seconds. So you don't need a 60-second match for pine straw and grass and fluff and tinder. Or if you got a knife, you can make shavings, carved shavings. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this as an example of, let's say everything's wet, okay, and it's cold and you need to start a fire, and all you can find is pretty much parts and pieces of a dead tree. Alright, let's just try to do this without the knife this first time, just to see. You know, let's say for example, if you're out lost wandering around and you have this package and you need to start a fire, and you just have to use your hands and what's available on the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to set this up to where we can use our match and see if we can get a roaring fire with one match. All right, no knife, no grass, no tinder, no fine tinder. So let's clear out a spot here. Try to get down the dirt. Now I brought some water so that I can kill this fire before it gets too big. Alright, so we have our survival matches here. So let's take a look at them. That we made while we were in the gear room. So I'm going to set these right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break one of these branches off. And then I'm going to break this off so that it's like this. And I'm going to try to stab this in the ground. Man, that thing went way in the ground. Alright, let's take one of these matches. Remember, it's duct tape with a loop. Alright, let's hang this thing down. Like that. Just like that. Alright, now I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you on the other mount down lower where you can see what I'm doing. Well, I'm just going to lower this tripod because I don't think you can see good from there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Alright, see the match hanging right here? Let me lift this up a little bit so I can... Alright, now I'm going to back it up while I'm building the fire. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take all these little pieces here. I'm going to pile all of this around it like this. Let's see, let's get some more of this dry. We want the smallest stuff on there. Let's get some of this off the top up here. Alright, now like I say, these are all branches. Branches take a little bit longer to ignite. There may not be a need to put too much on here. But like I say, branches definitely take longer to ignite. So that's why we need that flame burn time. Put a couple of big ones on here. So now, I don't think this is going to be enough. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to get a little bit more. You can see what I'm doing here is I've got the match inside here. And I've got all this stuff on here. I'm going to go get some more branches and pile them up to make sure that it is sustainable. Alright, I got a whole bunch of more stuff piled up in here now around it. And then I've got some on the side so that I can start piling it inside as soon as this flame gets going. So what I'm going to try to do is I've got it hanging in here. I moved it back a little bit in there. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can strike it with it hanging. I got to block it from the wind. Ah, see, it went out. Well, then maybe this will take 2 matches because I'm going to have the matches with me. That might not be feasible to do it that way, but you can't hardly light one like that. So let's light it and get this match going good by holding it upside down. And then let's get that flame going good. Alright, let me zoom you in a little bit. Let's see if this works. And in the meantime, I'm going to start piling all this stuff up in here to see what it does. Now this is the first time I've ever done this. Look, it fell off. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Huh. Let's try it again. Well, that's weird. Maybe this ain't a good idea. Look, it's falling off down in the bottom. If it catches though, maybe I need more practice. Look at that. Look at that, you can still see it falling off. Like I said, no grass, no leaves, no shavings. This is just twigs. That was a little bumpy road, but I got it going. The concept is interesting. especially if the ground down here on the bottom is all muddy. Look, you can still see pieces of duct tape dropping off. I would say that the idea works. Now maybe I have to do a little bit more experimenting with this. Alright, see this bag? I discovered these bags that what they're doing is you expand them out and you fill them up with water, and they've got Velcro on them for holding canopies down. So I thought, why not have it at camp for water? See, there's those Velcro things. These are designed, you fill them up with water, and then you strap them to your tent or your canopy like at the beach, and the wind won't blow it away. That's pretty cool. This is only halfway filled up and I can barely carry it. Great for having a bunch of water at camp. I like that. That's pretty neat. Alright, for the very first time I ever tried it, I thought it wasn't that bad. I think the idea has some merit. Now, it needs a little bit more work. I'm not sure what. I don't know if this match needs to be further out or further up, or maybe you need to put 2 matches on. You know, that's an idea. But I'm not going to go through all these details of lighting all these fires and boring you with it, but I'm going to work with this idea. And as a matter of fact, after watching it now, I think what I'm going to do is, since the way this is flat, I'm going to put 2 matches with a gap between them. And I think the fact that this really needs to be straight instead of curved so that the flame goes straight up. But if wind blows it one way, it won't allow it to melt up this way. But I think the idea, with some work, you know, it went out that first time, but once I got it lit, it was pretty successful. I mean, like I said, no grass, no leaves, no pine straw, just twigs, and it did good. So, yeah. After I got home, I got to thinking about this for a minute, and the basic idea is the initial flame wasn't really enough to sustain. And then this duct tape, I rolled it round and round and round. And so I think this duct tape was actually too thick to catch this flame before it goes out. So what we're going to do is we're going to try something different here. We're going to take a piece, and we're only going to have 2 layers. We're going to try this one. If I can get it to quit sticking to my hands. Alright, so let's take 2 matches. We're going to take 2 this time. We're going to stick them here and here. Alright. So we got 2 matches. Now let's see, let's take another piece of tape here. And let's tape it. We're going to make the loop shorter. Let's put this here, and let's just try that. So let's fold this over. Alright, so that we have 1 layer of tape. Let's fold this over. Alright, so we have 1 layer of tape, and it's a little bit wider, so hopefully it'll catch on quicker. And how are we going to do this loop? Alright, let's put this other piece on here. Okay, we got this done from here to here. Give you a better view. And then when you come up here, I'm going to put this piece right here. Like that. Now let's fold this over, squish this. This is a mess. It's probably much better ways of doing this. Let's do it like that. I'm just going to turn that thing into a huge loop. And just put a piece of tape around it here. I think this will be better because it'll make it easier to put on. Alright, see, look at that loop right there. That's a gigantic loop now. Alright, so let's try this. Look, it's pitch black out here. I'm underneath a makeshift tarp. And I got a flashlight up there because this is driving me crazy. I want to see if this is going to work. Alright, so what I've got now, see if I've got you in shot. Alright, now, what I have here now is I have the a stick going up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this right in the middle. I'm going to hang it right there. Let's see if we can get it to where it'll hang down straight. Yeah, alright. And then I'm going to put a little bit of support under here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is so much better. And then what I'm going to do now, I gotta try to get a good camera shot here. That's good enough. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all these sticks up against it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same process that I did last time. Just laying sticks all up in here. Now the wind is really blowing, and I got to thinking about something. Look. Tree bark. After I get through putting the sticks up, I'm going to put tree bark on it. You can see there's actually more bark than there is sticks. Now after I light it, I'm going to take this other bark and I'm going to cover up the hole right here. Oh no, I just knocked it over. I got to be careful with that. Oh, and another thing I did is, look, I put a bunch of stuff in the bottom down here. I put a bunch of stuff in the bottom so that, let me show you. Down in the bottom right there, I put sticks so that whenever the matches droop, whenever they drip, they'll drip down on that pile of sticks. All right, let's stick this thing back. I'm using a little bitty tiny tripod. All right, so let's see what happens. Oop, that side ain't no good. All right. Oh, better put this in. And this. Oh, did you see that? It fell. Look at that. Look at that. It fell down to the bottom. See it in there? It fell in the bottom. But the loop is still burning up top. Oh yeah, that is a success. Oh yeah. Look, you can still see it dripping. Look, there was pieces of it dripping. I wished I'd have caught that on camera. It's dripping on the bottom. Oh, the bottom just went out. Let's just hope that the top keeps going. I think it will. So, the moral of that story is practice before you depend on a method. Now, I think eventually this method could have promise. And for real, I think if I would have had, because I'm at home, I'm in my backyard, and I didn't have enough twigs, and it's dark, I didn't have enough little tiny twigs. And I think if I had enough little tiny twigs, you know, you could see that that duct tape worked a lot better than the other. And the way the duct tape drops off and lands on the bottom, you know, it kind of got going too, but I didn't have any real fine stuff down there on the bottom. But I think it's pretty promising if you'll practice with it, you know. But you know, I don't sugarcoat anything. I show it exactly like it happens, and so you're learning while I'm learning. Because you know, I'd heard of using duct tape on matches, but you know, experiment around with this, and I think that the wide version with 2 matches is going to be the way to go. Wood shavings. Dropping off into the wood shavings. That's how it's done. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Success. That is how it's done. Fun experimenting with this. Don't depend on it just yet, but it can be a promising method. So work on it. Get out, enjoy your family. Season's greetings, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You know, happy Festivus. You know, whatever holiday you support, you celebrate or don't celebrate. You know, take some time and enjoy your family, and you know, if you're an outdoorsy person, experiment with these crazy ideas here. In the comments section, tell me if you've ever messed with duct tape before. It's all I've ever heard about is duct tape and matches as being a survival item. Me personally, I would rather have a knife, make curls, and use a ferro rod. But like I said, this needs some work. Take it easy, enjoy life, and we shall see you in the next one.